Slope-intercept form of a line. Slope-intercept is just talking about what a standard form. Let me show you what a standard form of a line looks like. Now, it might be a little confusing for you at first, but I just want to go ahead and write it, okay? What it says is y equals m times x plus b. Hey, do you remember in the previous example when we talked about the point or y-intercept? I'm sorry, the point slope method, and it looks something like this. Well, this is a simplified version of that, okay? So what's going to happen is this is called our standard form, okay? So it's y equals m times x plus b. Now, I'm going to show you a couple of ideas about it, okay? Let me go ahead and get rid of these symbols. Let me write it in a nice way. Okay, I'm going to point out a couple of things to you. One thing I want to point out is this, m. Do you remember what m indicates? M is the slope. Now, here's something new. This one, this b part. The b, that's called the y-intercept. Let me show a picture. If I draw a little graph or coordinate plane, okay, this is my y, this is my x. Let's say I have a line. I'm going to draw a line. Okay. So the thing is this, the y-intercept, it means, you see my blue line here? It says where the blue line actually touches the y line. And you can see that the blue line touches the y line right at that spot there. That is called the intercept. That's where they touch. That's where they connect. That is called the y-intercept. So when you're looking at something like y equals mx plus b, the m is the slope, and the b, that's where on the y line where the line is going to hit. So that's my y-intercept. Okay, here we go. Look at this guy here. What you're supposed to indicate is what is the slope if I give you this? Well, remember, this is the standard form, and the m is the slope. So whatever's in that position is the slope. And what do I see? I see a 2. It's the whole number 2. But remember, I told you slope is a ratio. And if you see a whole number, what is that bottom number? It's always a 1. So you can say the slope is 2, 1. Okay? Or you can say it's 2. These two things are the same, but I want you to make sure that you understand that they are the same thing. Okay, now look at the b part. Do you remember what the b part is? We call that the y-intercept. They're asking us, what is the y-intercept? Well, did you say +3 or +3? And the answer is yes. What that means is that this line, when you draw out a line, and I have my little coordinate, it means that at the +3 part of the line, that's where that line is going to bust through it. Let's try it again. Look at this next one. What is the slope? Did you say -3? Yeah. Well, what's another way to write it? -3, 1? Yes. Remember, the negative always goes to the top number. Okay. And what is my y-intercept? Oh, did you say -5? That is correct. Let's try one more. Look at this one. What is the slope? Oh, did you say 2/3? Agreed. What is the y-intercept? Did you say 3? That would be correct. Now, let me show you something else. Look at the one right below it. You'll notice that the information that's given, well, this is called the standard form of a line. where y equals the m and the x are on the right side of the equal sign, and the b is on the right side of the equal sign. Well, they don't have that written right here. Now, if they give it to you, what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to change this one so that when it looks like that, where it has y equals. And you're going to use your algebra techniques in order to move things from the left to the right side of the equal sign. So here we go. Y, oh, sorry, let me say this again, start one more time. So you'll notice that it says y, it's on the left side of the equal sign, that's fine. But this plus 2x has to go to the other side. I have to move it to the other side. And remember, we have to use our algebraic techniques. So the opposite of adding 2 times x is to subtract 2 times x. So I want to write that on the right side. And I'm going to go ahead and put it right before the b. You see that? That way it can start to go ahead and look like this. Now, here I go. Ready? Y equals, remember, the opposite of adding 2, x, subtracting 2 times x. And then what's behind it, or what's in front of it? Not just 3, plus 3. Okay? So now, does this look like this? Hopefully you say, yes, it does. Yes. Now, what is the slope? If you would have said it before without changing it, you would have said, oh, it's a positive 2. Well, that's not true, because when you put it in standard form, slope is actually a negative 2, or a negative 2, 1. The b is a 3, or my y-intercept is a 3.